What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, I'm back to work. Been gone for a few days or whatever, from making videos. But look, it was all for good reason. My son just turned 1 year old, so we were prepping for his party. Now that his party was a success and it's over and done with, now it's back to the videos, right? So I got some news to report to you all. I'm sure everybody has heard it by now, but I'm just here to give my take on the whole situation. So Alpo Martinez, the infamous Harlem drug kingpin and informant, was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting on early Sunday morning, right? Alpo was allegedly struck multiple times in the chest as a hail of bullets were fired from a moving vehicle. Bullets were fired from a moving vehicle. It struck Alpo in the chest, and he ended up dying from the gunshots, right? So a lot of y'all may be wondering on this channel, who is Alpo? Who is that? For those who don't know, some of you all know, Alpo was one of the subjects of a prominent film that came out in about 2002, and that film is called Paid in Full. Paid in Full is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really, really love that movie. It's a hood classic. Everybody quotes that movie a whole lot. You've seen people dress up as the characters for Halloween and so on and so forth, right? But the movie details the friendship of three men as they're rising up in the drug empire, right? They're starting up their drug empire. They're rising up the food chain in the drug game. And as they do so, things begin to turn sour because that's what happens in a dope game. However, a twist happens that nobody really saw coming unless you knew the real story. Alpo ended up killing his right-hand man's Rich Porter. He ended up killing Rich Porter, and it was allegedly over some drugs, right? And in real life, Alpo killed his right-hand man, Rich Porter, essentially over some drug or some drug money, right? And when we hear this type of, and this is the whole thing, right? When I'm hearing the news about Alpo being killed, I want everybody to know, I don't advocate for the death of anyone. I don't celebrate anybody's death. You know what I'm saying? None of that. I don't do that unless it's somebody that harmed my folks or is killing my people or doing something to my people. I don't advocate for the death of anybody. But this situation is just, just a reminder of you reap what you sow. And I say that because a lot of people don't know this. Alpo admitted to killing 14 different people. 14 different people, right? And I ain't gonna even get on the snitching stuff because he told on a whole lot of people to lessen his time after he got caught for selling drugs. Or after he got caught for a murder or selling drugs, so on and so forth, got caught for a lot of different things, right? But he ended up confessing to killing 14 different people, right? And some of those people, and it wasn't even just people he was all enemies with. People that weren't people that was trying to kill him. He killed some people that he called brothers to him. People that he called his little mans. People that he called his real true friends. You know what I'm saying? He killed people that were really close to him and people that he should have been endearing to, right? So I remember when he came home from jail and did interviews, he was trying to justify him killing his friend Rich Porter because Rich lied to him about some drug money. And so you kill him? And he thought that was a rational decision to do. Like he just gonna off him because he lied to him about some money. Like what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole his thought process about everything. It was just crazy to me. And I remember him talking about one of the guys he was cool with, Little Gary. Like, Little Gary, that was my man. That was my little man. I ended up killing him too. Like, what the fuck? Like, he was talking about it as if he said I went to the candy store with them. Like, he was saying it so casually. Like, it was nothing to be talking about him murdering people that was once close to him. So to me, this situation is just like the chickens coming home to roost. I believe that's what Malcolm X referred to these type of situations as, the chickens coming home to roost, right? When Alpo came home from prison in 2015, he seemed to not have any remorse about any of his wrongdoings. It really didn't show, right? He was still trying to seek glory and hood fame. And he was trying to seek all of that for his foul ways that he had in the street. He was still trying to seek all of the attention and accolades and all that. He was trying to get all of that for all of the foul things he did in the street. And he seemed to not even bat an eye about any of the stuff he was doing, right? After all the murders he's been associated with, after all the murders he himself has admitted to doing, all the individuals he told on, it puzzled me how he was just walking around his old neighborhood, walking around freely like he was just a beloved superstar, like nothing was going to happen to him. Now, granted, the man was a killer, so ain't nobody and anybody just going to run up on him, right? But those individuals that you killed and you've been talking about, like the man was even doing it, like it was like a whole documentary. Is he riding people around to where he killed Rich Porter? Yeah, I killed him right here. Yeah, I killed him right here. Drug the body over here. Like, bro, what? Like, what the hell, fam? Like, it was like he had no remorse about any of that. Rich Porter got a family. He got people that loved him and care about him. They don't want to hear you on camera talking about how you killed him and you offed him right here. You took him over here, took him over there. Like, it was just like, what? This man doing whole interviews and like a documentary about where he killed certain individuals and all of that, as if it was something to glorify. And I was pissed at the individuals who was really like, I'm looking at them like, bro, what? Y'all really out here really glorifying? He trying to tell you where he killed this person at, where he killed that person at. Like, it just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed very, very odd to me. It ain't like a rapper that's just rapping his music and doing it on his own. It was like, man, like a film crew really wanted him to ride him around and show him where he killed his mans at. You know, and to me, it's just like I was hearing him talk about him killing his people. When he talked about the people he killed, it was so weird because he didn't stutter when he talked about the people that he killed, right? He didn't stutter. I mean, his voice didn't crack. You didn't hear any emotion coming out of his voice when he was talking about him killing Rich Porter, his man, Lil Gary, killing all these people he was cool with, you know? And it's spooky to hear him talk like that and not even have any type of like emotion about it at all, right? And then there's another interesting thing I noticed. When he discussing people he killed or people that he got killed, he was saying stuff like, oh, he was my man. Oh, he was real cool, man. I always liked him. I always liked him. I wasn't mad at him. I'm like, damn. So if you always like these individuals, why you just offing them because, oh, he lied to me about some drug money? Like, what? That's not a rational decision. That's not a rational response to somebody lying to you about some money. I'm going to just kill him. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy to me, man. Like, you know, listening to Alpo talk, listening to him talk about his past transgressions and irrational behavior, it made one thing clear to me, like one thing that just stood out. There are no friends in the drug game at all, right? It's a cold game. It's a dirty business. That's why it's illegal activity. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the most cutthroat individuals in that's flourishing in that type of industry. But it's just like, damn, like I don't know, man. It's wild, man. But look, I know one thing though, man. He may not even get killed for no snitching type stuff or nothing, right? He may have been getting into some stuff recently. Ain't no telling because of how he was moving around. It seemed to me like he was moving around like as if he was just a regular everyday person that just should have been showered with accolades or whatever, like a shower with praise and so on and so forth. He was just trying to move around Harlem like he was just an everyday citizen, an everyday person. Like, bro, you know you cause a lot of people grief, a whole lot of people grief. And you still out here on camera talking about when you killed Rich Porter here, you killed him there. Now, granted, I know he's trying to make some money and people want to hear about him killing Rich Porter and so on and so forth. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It just seems to me like how he was moving, it seemed very off-putting to a lot of different people, man. And you know, the streets don't ever forget certain things that transpired. They don't forget about those things, man, and they don't forget about, you know, all the killings that you did to people. All the stuff you did, like, I can see it, okay, he in a situation where it's my life or theirs. Like, okay, somebody trying to kill me, so I'm going to kill them. It was situations where, like, with Rich Porter, Rich just lied to him about some drug money, allegedly. We don't know, because Rich isn't here. We don't know if that's true. But Rich lied to him about some drug money, allegedly, so I'm going to just kill him. Like, that's crazy to me. It's like psychopathic behavior. But again, somebody got 14 murders under their belt, they definitely a psychopath. And they definitely, just what they do. That's what they about. You know, and, but it's just like, watching him talk, he not stuttering. He don't got no emotion about it. He just seemed to have no remorse about it. He was just like, yeah, he lied to me, so I killed him. It was what it was. Like, people want to look at me like I'm the bad guy, but Rich lied to me about some drugs. Like, bro, what? Fam, nah, that shit ain't cool. Okay, he lied to you about some drug money, allegedly. You know, allegedly, but so what the fuck? Like, so you kill him? You kill him? Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? How does that line up? Especially if that's supposed to be your man's. That's supposed to be your day one, your homie. And you do him like that? That shit is foul, man. That shit is crazy, man. But again, man, I just feel like, you know, in this life, you reap what you sow, man. The energy that you put out into this world, it comes back onto you tenfold, right? So if you out here putting out bad energy, doing bad things to people, it's going to come back onto you in some type of way, right? It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next year. It may not happen 5 years from now, but eventually all those things that you're going to have to pay for those heinous things that you've done in some type of way is going to come back on you, right? Now, I don't wish death on the man. I didn't wish death on the man or nothing like that. But it was just like, man, like, how can he just walk around and just like act as if like nothing happened and not even feeling any type of remorse? It seemed like, I mean, I wasn't in his heart to know if he felt remorse, but hearing him talk about it was just like he said it so matter of factly, like, yeah, that was my little man's. I ended up killing him too. Little Gary, that was my man's. I killed him too. Like, what the, like, what? Nah, bruh. Like, it's just wild. It's very, very wild, man. And again, you know, for a while, I thought like, you know, eventually, hey, maybe it was just gonna be all this forgotten. Well, I don't know. I didn't think that, but it's just like he had been walking around for a while, you know, from what I heard in Harlem for a long little minute, right? And nothing happened. Nothing happened to him. He was just going about his day as regular as normal, you know. And I'm thinking like, well, maybe the people that were affected by what he did, they no longer around. You know, the people that's around now, they were kids, little babies when the stuff happened with him, so they probably don't care about it, so on and so forth. But I mean, I don't know, man. Eventually, you know, karma comes back on folks, especially for doing heinous stuff like killing people, taking people's lives. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just people like you were in self-defense like, oh, they'll kill me, so I got to kill them. You killing folks over, oh, man, he lying to me, man. Let me kill him. Like, what? He lied to me about some drug money. Let me get him up out of here. Like, that's wild. And you killing people who were once people you looked at as brothers, people that you looked at as like your right hand. You killing them people, like people that aided you in your illegal activity, that was by your side when you was doing illegal activity, all of that. You took them out over some simple stuff multiple times. Then you killing other folks. Then you telling on people that was once your homeboy just because you don't want to have to live with the consequences of what you've done. So in order to get out of that, you trying to tell on everybody else to shorten your time up. It was just like he did a lot of dishonorable things to be walking around as if like he was one of the gods of the earth. You know, you do dishonorable you have dishonorable deeds attached to your name. It's not wise to just be walking around, you know, freely, like you just, hey, it's all good. What's up, y'all? And then not only that, you keep talking, and you taking people to the site where you killed Rich at and all that. That's too much. And you can talk about the situation, but taking them to the site where you killed them and all that, like, bro, that's way too much. That's way too over the top. And at that point, you're antagonizing folks. You're antagonizing people who love Rich Porter, who love some of the other people that you killed, and so on and so forth. They like, man, hold on, man, this dude doing too much. People are gonna feel a type of way about that, right? And I could be wrong. Maybe Alpo could have done something recently that struck a nerve with someone, because he seemed to have like a persona as if like he was a legend and he should be respected as such. And if he got the type of persona about him, ain't no telling what he may have been doing or what he may have been getting into, right? But I'm gonna say this, man. Again, in this life, man, you reap what you sow. When you do people that were once good people to you, and you do people, you take their life over probably small misunderstandings, you taking their life, like what type of energy you think gonna come back onto you at that point? You know, it's not gonna be positive energy. It's not gonna be positive energy, man. So while I didn't wish death on the man at all, because I know he has a family, I know he got kids. I know he had a child. I know at least one child. You know, he got a family that love and care about him. But at the same time, those individuals that he killed have family that loved and cared about them as well. So, you know, they feeling some type of way about him going to the site where he killed Rich Porter and talking about how he killed this person, killed that person, killed this person over and over again, and then walking through the hood with a smile on his face gracefully like, hey, I'm one of the gods of this earth. People ain't gonna embrace that. They're going to feel some type of way about it, and it results in activity just like this, man. So while it is a tragic event, it is the prime example of what Brother Malcolm X said: the chickens coming home to roost. There are consequences for wrongful deeds, heinous deeds, and karma lets that play out. Machiavelli Mills TV, peace.